Welcome to the Better Man Show. I'm your host, John Matuz. And what our show's based off of is I'm trying to become the best version of myself. And what we're doing is we're starting off working with 3 fitness and nutrition coaches. I'm with coach number 1, Morentin, and I started his MyFitLife 21-day reset program exactly a week ago. And it's going well. It's going great. In our last episode, Al explained what I'd be doing in week 1, which went well. Everything was great. Did all the activities that I always do. Was it kayaking, riding my bike, going to the gym. Everything's great. Didn't have any issues at all. And the program's pretty simple to follow. Simple but not easy is like what Al likes to say. I mean, it's difficult for me not getting my tacos and my hamburgers once in a while, but it's working. My clothes are fitting better. I feel great. So Al, welcome back to the show. How's it going? And let us know what we're going to be doing in week 2.
Right on, John. Thanks for having me. And glad you had a good experience with week 1. Sometimes people will have like a little bit of issues. We call them a healing crisis, like during week 1. Sometimes it happens week 2, week 3. It might not happen at all. Sometimes it sucks, but yeah. So the first week was just, basically healthy, plant-based eating, no meat, no dairy, no processed foods. Remember, we're trying to give your digestive system a rest so that energy could go to cleanse and detoxify your body on a cellular level all over. So each week gives more and more of a rest. So last week was plant-based, but you could cook the food and all that kind of stuff. And this week is raw. So it's raw plant-based food, like so living foods. And the reason for that is it's just easier to digest and it contributes nutrition to your body. Cooked foods, they have their nutrition somewhat compromised, like the proteins and the vitamins and certain nutrients will get destroyed in the cooking process, and especially the enzymes which help break down the food in your body. So your food will supply the enzymes needed to break it down, but they get destroyed through cooking, and then your body has to create enzymes, within itself, and they're called digestive enzymes. Your body can do that, but it is a burden on your body, and your body has to contribute nutrition to process through that kind of food, the cooked food. And it's not bad, in normal life, but when you're trying to cleanse and detoxify, it's a problem, because that energy to create all that stuff and then break it down could be used other places. So we're bypassing that by not cooking the food and just being able to, take advantage of the food enzymes that are in the raw foods that you're going to be eating. So instead of like contributing like nutrition from your body to create the enzymes in your pancreas and create a burden on your pancreas, it also causes you to contribute that nutrition that would normally go to repair your body and to build your immune system. So that could lower your immune system and all that kind of stuff. So we're actually building that stuff up now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And, I was watching that video that you sent while we were preparing for the show about how I should go into next week. So like you said, next week's going to be all raw foods. And one thing that you said is you suggested that I eat, most of my fruits in the morning and more of a vegetable-based dinner at night. Oh, why is that?
Okay. Yeah. So with this raw and living food week, we're doing blended meals at the beginning and at the end of the day, and we're doing more solid food in the middle. And there really is no calorie counting, and you could have technically as many meals as you want to, but you want to have space in between, where there's no eating going on for a few hours, so you can heal and all that kind of stuff. But the fruits in the morning, you need energy, to take on the day and stuff like that. And fruits are sort of a quick source of energy, and your body can easily digest them and process through them because you're awake all through the day, right? And you're able to utilize them that way. And in the evening time, there's like blended soups that we have you making that are more vegetable based and less fruit based, because there is like some the simple carbohydrates, the fructose in there. And if you're not doing any kind of activity, then you can run the risk of converting that into fat and storing it, and not really with the 21-day reset, but in regular life. So you just need to get used to eating that way. And so we have you do either the blended soup, at night, which is like a raw soup. It might get a little bit warm because you're putting it in a blender, but not too warm. It stays under 118 degrees so the enzymes stay active. But if people don't like those soups, they don't have to eat them, because you don't have to eat every single thing on the thing to stay within the parameters of that week, and you'll be fine. So you can do a smoothie at night, but you want to use like way less fruit in it, just like a little tiny bit, and the rest be like some greens or celery and other carrots or whatever else would be in there, or just some vegetable juices too. That I'm putting it through a blender or through a juicer.
Yeah, I was worried
So,
about that.
yeah, so yeah, we call the juices plant blood, because it's so nutritious. Like everything is taken away, the fiber and all the other uh, components of the plant, and they do have their place, but all the nutrition is in that juice, and that's why we call it plant blood, because it is so super nutritious. So drinking those things is good, and you could do those at night as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's what's great about your program is you have parameters that you set, but you also give so many great recipes and different ways to stay on the program and stay motivated and not get bored with just eating a banana every 3 hours or something. You really break it down, and I have to thank you for that. It's a great program.
right on, awesome, very
Yeah,
good.
so we get into next week, right? Um, like you said, nothing's cooked. Do you have like any tips on, or tricks or something that within your own program, within your own parameters that might, keep me motivated, keep me rocking and not, get discouraged on this thing?
Okay, so this week it's actually easier than the week before because it is so limited on what you can, because not all restaurants and especially fast food places have raw options. So that's the key factor. Like you're, on the road a lot. So with someone in your situation, you would want to take like a little ice chest, one of those little Playmate size ice chests, and have some backup smoothies in there, and some backup, like cut up veggies and some raw hummus. They have raw hummus. You could make it, but they also sell it at Whole Foods and Mothers and places like that. And you dip carrot sticks and celery sticks and stuff like that inside, and take a salad or whatever with you to be prepared, because you might get stuck, especially since you're in California. You might get stuck in Orange County or LA traffic, and like you get starving. And with this, like your body will be able to process through this stuff, because it's not a burden to process. It's easy to process. So you will get hungry, and then you'll just get famished, kind of thing, and then you get and then you can get moody and stuff like that too along the way. So having some backup stuff is really a good idea, because it's just saves peace of mind, and relieves stress, and stress causes toxicity in your body, and we're trying to relieve that, so
Right, right.
yeah. And then also there's so along with that, there's raw food restaurants that you could explore, that if you get they're not so much that you need them, you could do all this stuff in the menus, and just eat veggies and stuff like that. But sometimes people that are used to the standard American diet, they want tacos, they want enchiladas, they want things like that. And there are raw plant-based versions of that taste pretty good. They taste like to me they taste awesome, but to regular meat eater people, they taste really good, and they're fun to explore during this week, because it's not because you have permission to, almost, and so those are good, because in Orange County, where you live, there are raw food, 100% raw food restaurants, and like plant-based restaurants that have raw options, and you just Google it, or call them, whatever, and then also one other thing is there are such thing as packaged raw foods. Okay, so there's obviously like the vegetable and fruit section, and the refrigerated sections and stuff. But there's these in Whole Foods and like Mothers, Jimbo's, these different natural food stores. They have like a packaged section that has raw foods, and they are technically legal on this week.
Okay.
And so, like goji berries, and like these little concoctions that are a mixture of different things, that are raw food, and plant based,
Right.
and and those could be thrown in your glove compartment, like a little raw bar or something,
Right.
and it's not something that you would eat 100% of the time, but if you're in a pinch, in a traffic jam, open that glove box and pop it in. It'll save you frustration.
Yeah, I saw that on that. Like I said, I keep referring back to that video that you sent me, to prepare for the show. And those raw enchiladas sound pretty good. So after we film this, I'm heading out, man. I found a place that's like 10 minutes away from the house. So I'm going
That's
to check
awesome.
that out. Yeah. But, going back to, getting emotional or getting angry or whatever, I only had one episode last week, and it just happened to be when I was in church, right? There's this old lady, man. And we compete for the same seat every week, right? So we get there earlier and earlier and just try to beat each other there. And man, she had them put up a sign so that I can't sit by myself anymore at the back of this church, right? So I got there last Sunday, and I had to say a few more prayers, man, because I was ready. I was angry and grumpy, man. So yeah, but other than that, man, thing's been running really smooth. Everything's going great. And thanks for your, all the time you put in on this, because you are devoting a lot of time to the show and to me, and I really appreciate it.
Right on, John. Yeah. Yeah, you're my friend. I'll help you out in any way I can.
Yeah. So, like I said, last week went great. The exercise program that you gave me went well. Maybe we can connect a link or something on that, like that, onto this video, like maybe below or something in the.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah,
that
for
good?
sure. Yeah, you want me to explain real quick what the thought process is behind the program, the
Oh,
workout program?
yeah. And I think, like, for me and, so other people that work out a lot, I mean, I'm at the gym every morning, and that's just something I do. So when I first started training with you on this 21-day reset, 15 years ago or whatever it was, and I saw the workout program, I was like, man, that's not going to help me. This is ridiculous. But, 1.5 sets in, and you're like, man, this is a real workout. And you get results quickly. And that's what I like about you, Alex. It's always like, it may not be easy, but it's simple, right? You keep it simple. And if you stick to it, you're going to succeed. And I appreciate that. And just, that's the way you do everything in your life. And you're a good role model to have, for sure.
Right on. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and things that's the way people try to make things too complex, and they try to restrict themselves too much to these weird like carnivore and keto diets and all these different things, even vegan diets, like they try to like almost punish themselves, and they do the same thing with workouts. They'll punish themselves and just put themselves through these brutal things, and it's more about having that mind muscle link, and almost like what they say in yoga, being in the moment, and it's the same thing with workout, like you're thinking about what you're doing it with purpose, proper form, function, everything. So the workout that John is doing right now it's the base foundation workout for this program that I have. It's that the 21-day reset is actually part of. It's called the foundation, and there's a part of it called AWOL, a way of life. And so what this does is it builds your foundation of your body, like the not just the superficial muscles, but the deep down muscles that surround your joints, and they protect your joints, the ligaments, the tendons, all these different things. It's meant to strengthen those so that you're protected, when you're doing a bunch of different excursions and fun activities, kayaking, hiking, MMA, whatever it may be. You're gonna be able to prevent injury, and if you do get a slight injury, it's not going to be something major, and it's something you could recover from quickly because, you have strong ligaments and tendons, and they're not brittle. You're not going to tear them. They have flexibility and strength, so that's what the combination of the food and the workouts together will get you, and the supplementation as well. So it's basically a combination of vertical and horizontal pushing, pulling, and then leg exercises that work, all the way around the front and the back, and the sides and everything like that. So it's a full body workout, and that's why it doesn't seem like it's that hard, because you're not doing a bunch of different exercises per body part, but you're working out your whole body in the workout, and then you do that same workout 3 times a week. So if you add up the amount of sets and everything like that, you are doing, a decent number of sets per body part throughout the week, but that's not on that particular day. Does that
Right.
make
And I
sense?
know that, yeah. And a lot of things that, when I was working out with you too, again, I just came from, kind of circuit training, like kind of what we did when we were kids. Right. And sort of just kept doing that throughout my life, even though it probably wasn't the right thing to do. But, that rest period between sets, I know that's something that you really, know that's important, and you preach that. Can you kind of go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So resting in between sets is a big deal. And this is sort of like a circuit kind of a workout, because you're doing a full body workout. So you're doing the full body, in one round basically, and then you're going to do another round, and you're doing 3 or 4 rounds. So so in between each exercise, there should be a rest period. So a lot of times people, especially because they want to get cardio and they get their heart rate going and stuff like that, they'll do their squats and then their push-ups or their bench press and then their rows and then their overhead press and then whatever it may be, and just move from one to the next as fast as they can get to that next set. They'll start doing it. And we did a study, like there was over 100 gyms. We were part of a mastermind that would meet 3 times or 4 times a year over near Magic Mountain in California. And we did a study, a massive, with over 100 gyms, testing all different times. And we found that 30 seconds or more, like between 30 seconds and a minute, actually got the best results over no rest or doing like 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Like 30 seconds and 45 seconds is what I like to use. And the what I tell a lot of people is to do is 30 seconds, because they're used to no seconds. So 30 seconds is a long time, and then they're like, in the gates waiting to do it. And then, but it gets a little bit of energy to get built back up inside of you so you could attack the next set harder. And then when you finish the round, you want to wait at least 1 to 2 minutes. And the 2 minutes is better than the 1 minute. But most people, they don't want to, they'll just go right into the next set, so at least 1 minute, will get you really, really, really good, because that gets you like even more energy built up, so you could attack the whole, whatever it is, 8 exercises or whatever in that round. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. And the workout that you have me on is something you could easily do at your house if you just had
Yeah.
a couple of dumbbells, right? I mean, for
Yeah.
the price of a 1 month at the gym, you can have all the gear you need, at your house. And so that was another good thing. And it's something you can do anywhere, even if you're kind of on the road and you had to do it with just body weight, you could do that too. Like if you're like at a hotel or something. It's a
Yeah,
really
definitely.
simple workout, but very effective.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're getting ready to go into next week. Did you want to talk about the supplements that you sent to me a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, um, so yeah, there's the food, there's the exercise, and then there's the supplementation. So so you sent John some natural types of supplements. So, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, so the supplements that you were taking beforehand, you want to stop taking those,
Yeah, I stopped taking those. Yeah.
and then just take these, because it's a complete, natural supplementation program. Okay, so there's some CBD in there. It's a full spectrum CBD, and
This is what it looks like.
yes,
Yeah. Great
definitely.
bottling, great labeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So our packaging actually protects the nutrition inside of the, of what's ever inside the bottles. But yeah. So there's that, because we have an endocannabinoid system that needs to be fed, and so this is what feeds it, the cannabinoids, right? And CBD is a cannabinoid, but it does not get you high. It helps with recovery from workouts, and helps you to utilize nutrition and all kinds of different things. But it's a missing link for everybody, basically, because like I mentioned, we have an endocannabinoid system that needs to be fed with cannabinoids. And it's one of the reasons why so many people have problems in the world today, is because, not because they have these diseases, but more so because they have a cannabinoid deficiency, and those symptoms that they have are just symptoms of the cannabinoid deficiency, right? It just manifests different ways in different people, and it starts off small, like dry skin or whatever, and can go into things like diabetes and even death, right? So, there's that. The CBD, it's, like I said, is a missing link for everybody, that's not taking it. And then Shilajit, it's an Ayurvedic herb. It's the most prescribed substance in Ayurveda, that's prescribed by the Hindu masters, right? And so it's minerals at its core. It's just every mineral, right? Has all 84 minerals and trace elements in it, and this stuff called humic acid and fulvic acid, which just makes it pretty much 100% bioavailable. Humic acid and fulvic acid are huge in nutrition right now, and it's just naturally occurring in this Shilajit. It's basically, it's plant based matter, plants that have been compressed over thousands of years in the Himalayas. So like ours is harvested at 18,000 foot elevation, above roads, above electricity, above pollution. So it's pristine, and it's the minerals inside of the plants were digested by the plant, so we are able to uptake it. So most of the minerals that are available on the shelves that you see in the health food stores, they're from like iron, from a piece of iron, and then other minerals from like rocks and dirt and stuff like that. So they're minerals that haven't been digested by plants through photosynthesis. So they are minerals, but they're not minerals that you can uptake and utilize for good. And those types of minerals can actually build up inside of you and become toxic, right?
Mm.
So they're not good, and they can do harm. These plant-based ones that have gone through the photosynthesis, that have been digested by plants, they're the ones that you can ingest and use for good. Like they're sort of like a tagline for Sheila G, and it's destroyer of weakness and conqueror of mountains.
There you
You
go.
know, that, I mean, that's is it all. When I read I'm sold. I'll take it. And then but you feel so awesome on it, especially if you're if you well, everybody's mineral deficient. I was going to say if you're mineral deficient, but it really is, and it makes people just feel good, and it gives people energy. So you don't want to do it right before bed. So if you're going to do it twice in the day, you would do it like in the morning, when you wake up, and then in the afternoon or early evening, kind of a thing. But it has all 84 minerals, trace elements, the humic acid, fulvic acid, which makes those minerals and trace elements 100% bioavailable. And like, minerals are the key to life. If all you did was concentrate on the mineral content of the foods you eat, like, I'm not going to eat foods unless they have the hardcore amounts of minerals, and you didn't worry about the protein, fat, carbohydrate, none of that stuff. Is worried about the minerals and getting minerals in your body, you would be the healthiest person on the planet. You don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. That stuff just comes along, for the ride.
Right.
Minerals are the key for everything. I heard that like almost 30 years ago. I thought it was BS, and I came to find that it was like truth in, um like just period, right? So that stuff is super awesome, and it took me 23 years to find a source that I could put my name on. Like, otherwise I was selling other people's stuff and things like that. But so that stuff is super awesome. And then we have MSM. So MSM, it stands for methyl sulfonyl methane, but it's just a bioavailable source of sulfur, and meaning that it's a source of sulfur that your body could readily uptake and utilize for good. So there's sulfates and sulfites that you find like in meats and stuff like that as preservatives, and those are cancer-causing toxic substances. They are sulfurs, but they are bad for you.
Okay.
The sulfurs that are in medications are bad for you. This one is good for you. And that's why we call it MSM instead of sulfur, because people are scared of sulfur, right? But I've been taking it every day since 1992, and they call it one of the 5 elements of life, right? It's like literally one of the 5 elements of life, and without it, you would be dead. A person that's like 5'8", 5'9", that's about like 180 pounds, would have over 4 pounds of that single mineral in their body.
Wow.
Like, it's the third most abundant single substance in our body if we're healthy, but it's lacking in our environment, in the soil. So plants can't uptake it, and we can't get it from the plants. And whether we're eating plants or whether the cows are eating the plants, and you eat the cows. That those are a couple of different ways to get it. We're not getting it that way, so it has to be through supplementation. There's a bunch of it in the ocean. There's a bunch of it that can be harvested in different areas, and then some people learn how to make it, whatever. But it's important to get pristine sources, which we have. We've had the same source since 1992, and like I said, it makes your body a better filter, basically.
Okay.
On a cellular level, it makes your cell walls more pliable. So you can take in nutrients better and get rid of toxins better. If you don't have, like, in other words, your cell wall is made up of a predominance of MSM. So it enables your cell walls to take in nutrients and get rid of toxins. If you don't have enough MSM, then your body has to put something there, right, for your cell wall. You have to have a cell wall.
Right.
So it'll be like having Bondo there, though. It's more stiff, and so you can't take in as many nutrients, no matter how good the nutrition is that you're eating. and you can't get rid of toxins no matter what you're doing. So,
Right.
unless you do a 21-day reset, right? So it's a big key, and it also is a key factor for your hair, skin, ligaments, tendons. All kinds of connective tissue is made stronger and more supple. Like we were saying earlier, with the tendons being stronger but have more flexibility and not snap. That can happen a lot through MSM and CBD. And then the MSM and CBD are synergists that work better together.
Okay.
So
And that's what I like, how you said it took you, 20 some years to find the right stuff. Right. And so, our show, the Better Man Show, is about me being kind of like a lab animal or a guinea pig, right. For you and the other coaches. But you have like tested all of this stuff on yourself for decades to find the right stuff. I'm telling you, if you're going to purchase anything through Al and MyFitLife, just know that he probably researched for years to find, the proper color glass where it's made in Europe, to put all your stuff in so that it wouldn't biodegrade or start falling apart. And then also he even moved to a climate, where the humidity is at the perfect level to package all of his stuff. So, I mean, Al goes above and beyond anyone else in the industry or anyone else I know in any industry. So, and that's why he's coach number one. So I just had to let everyone know that, because people have to know that about you. I mean, you really are the most dedicated guy that I've ever met in my life.
right on. Yeah. It's my life and my life's purpose. Helping people to overcome and manage conditions, and then optimize their health, and for sport, just excel, kind of a thing. So there are the two other things: the spirulina and chlorella, that are really important. They're algae. One's a freshwater algae; it's a blue-green algae, and the other one is a green algae. The blue-green algae is a spirulina. It's been around forever. They say that's the mana of life, kind of thing, But it's nature's multivitamin, multimineral, and it has like pretty much all the vitamins, all the minerals. It has complete protein, omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, prebiotics, probiotics. It's a complete food. Like, you could live off of it. Excuse me. And then the chlorella is very similar. It's a green algae, but it's very similar. But there's an undigestible part of it that attracts heavy metals and other kinds of toxins. So you're releasing toxins and heavy metals right now, or your body's getting prepped to do that right now during the 21-day reset. And if you just do that, they'll go into your bloodstream, cause a bad reaction, and then get reabsorbed into your body, unless you have some kind of a binder that will bind them, and then through their undigestible part, and then eliminate it from your body. And that's what that does, the chlorella. So it has a detoxifying agent in it, and then it has a bunch of vitamins and minerals and protein and stuff like that in there as well.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and it's natural. It's naturally occurring. There's these beds, like the freshwater and saltwater beds that they're created in. It's there's nothing added to it. It's just what nature intended.
Yeah, and I know if you're selling that, you research the heck out of where they're being grown and who's growing them and processing them and shipping them. I mean, it's the most pristine stuff you're going to get from anywhere. So thanks for that, Al.
Yeah. It all matters. Like for instance, with the Shilajit, it's harvested 18,000 feet above sea level. Like for those reasons, for no contaminants. It's like all that stuff matters. The chlorella, it attracts toxins, so it can't be in a toxic exposed environment, because it'll attract everything, and then you're going to be buying something that has all kinds of toxins in it. So you have to be very careful where you source your products from, or where you source your raw materials that you create your products from.
Right. And so, just want to kind of talk about the show a little bit. Now that we're kind of getting used to this and filming and stuff, I'm going to start doing some activities and start incorporating that into the show a little bit. So maybe the next couple of weeks, I've got someone that's going to show me how to use my gear, and then, I can take people on my adventures where I'm kayaking or whitewater rafting or body surfing or, all the stuff I do. So, that'll be fun. And then I'm going to go out and visit you too, because you got a bunch of cool places out where you live where we can do some adventure stuff. So we'll get some of that in before fall.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, my part's the boring part. It's that foundation part where you could, get out and do all this stuff and be safe, and and stay healthy and stuff like that. But yeah, the Better Man Show, John's going to go on all kinds of crazy, awesome adventures, and I'm excited to go along for the ride, just listening and watching.
Yeah, I mean, the boring part is the foundation, though, right? It's like the fundamentals. If you're playing a sport or doing anything, that's the important part. And so,
Yeah.
you know, we got to hit that first, and then we'll get to all the fun stuff. But right now, we're just getting me into that physical mode where I can do all the things that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and I think it's super cool that you're actually doing that. You know that you're actually showing this part of it, because you could just show the fun part, you know, and bypass that. But people might wonder, like, well, oh, it's okay because he could do that, but they could see that you're actually going through a process to prepare for that, and then you're doing it. So I think it's really cool that you're showing this part.
Yeah, you know, I am, you know, sort of a vain person. So doing the before version of me was a little tough for me, right? Because, you know, I could just, you know, skip ahead 3 months where I'm, you know, where I want to be physically and you know, in that condition. But like I said, you know, I just kind of want people that kind of might be in the same situation as me, where, you know, they're in their 50s and, you know, they're kind of thinking, man, what happened to, you know, I was cool, you know, yesterday, but it was 30 years ago, right? And just trying to, you know, get back into that program with me and kind of just go along on the ride with me.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, because we have so many friends that we still deal with, and they're all excited about it. But I want to get their friends excited and their family excited, and you know, maybe just get somebody, you know, on that wants to do the program with us. You know, I think that'd be real fun.
Yeah, definitely. Just get everybody to strive to be a little better.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you next week. So, I mean, this concludes this episode of the Better Man Show. And again, I'm your host, John Matuz, coach number one, Al Morentin. He'll be back with me for the next maybe 4 or 5 more weeks. And so, yeah, we'll talk next week. So, like I said, tell your family and friends, and we'll see you next week.